What is up, guys? We are back with episode 3 of the Glacier Guys. I'm Ethan Holesha,
And I'm Joey Fernandez,
and it's been a long time coming. But
for sure.
with that, there's been a lot of news. And I know in our first two episodes, we've really focused on the Bears, which is going to be a common trend in this third episode, and for a good reason. Joey, I don't know about you, but I don't think this offseason could have started off any better.
Nope. I mean, we're currently in the middle of a three-peat, three times off-season champs. I
Hang the
mean, we did,
banner.
yeah, exactly. I mean, we did what the Chiefs couldn't do. So, I mean, it's hard to complain at the moment if you're a Bears fan. They got the slam dunk hire with head coach. He brought in a pretty solid staff, I'd say. Say it's pretty widely considered that, and then. I mean, they beef up where they needed to beef up in the trenches and the interior. Trade for Joe Tooney. Well, first came Jonah Jackson, who was previously with Ben Johnson in Detroit, and then
Right.
they trade for back-to-back first-team All-Pro Joe Tooney. I mean, perfect start.
Yeah.
And not to even mention Drew Dahlman. I mean, but that's after free agency already started. But the trades, the start. I mean, I thought that the market was kind of weak for as far as free agency and the interior O line goes, and Ryan Poles got out ahead of it and got some guys that I think Ben Johnson can definitely work with. That's for sure.
Absolutely. And, getting into Ben, I mean, those guys might not come if we don't make that hire. I mean, seriously,
Yeah,
he's the kind of head coach that could literally make a player decide whether to come here or not. I'm sure their eyes light up. They know what he did in Detroit. They know that for the past two seasons he's been on the head coaching, hot name list, whatever you want to call it. But just him being here and bringing in, like Dennis and just other coaches that, maybe were on the fence and then they ended up coming here. It's like these guys want to play and they know what Ben's capable of doing as a leader. And um, yeah, I can't say enough good things. I see the memes of like him looking 10 years older now, but I
yeah,
mean, it is what it is. Obviously it's going to be a stressful job, but it's like go back a month and a half ago or whatever it was, we were hearing the name Mike McCarthy being thrown around, and we're here now. We have our guy. Like we've come a long way since the start of the offseason.
just think about where we'd be mentally if we had Mike McCarthy. I was thinking about it the other day, and I feel like my life would be so much different, like on a day-to-day basis. Like just not even like without him coaching a game. I don't know what it is. Like obviously the Bears were the hot team last offseason with the additions they had and stuff like that. But I feel like as far as when the season starts to approach, I feel like the hype of is just going to be on like a straight straight up trajectory. Like I feel like everyone's going to be on board this time. Well, some people, I would say most people, but
Yeah.
I mean, as far as what Ben's doing, I'm so excited. And like you said, he looks like he's 10 years older and he's only had the job for like 2 months, probably less. And
Yeah.
I mean, he's a football guy. He's putting the time in, and hopefully it shows on the field. I have pretty good confidence. I know a lot of Bears fans don't want to get ahead of themselves, but I tend to do that. And I feel like it's warranted for once. Hopefully,
Yeah, as an optimistic fan, I mean, I always want to go into a season with high hopes. Last year, I told myself I wasn't going to. And to be quite honest with you, I felt like I was more hyped getting Ben than I was getting Caleb. And not because, one's more important than the other. I mean, there you could make the argument that Ben's more important than Caleb just to the organization, but we kind of knew that Caleb was coming here when we had that first pick. Like we were like, if we don't get Ben, like we're going to kill ourselves. Pretty much was like the to
essentially, yeah,
to be dramatic, but it was just like this. Like we have to go all out for this guy. Like blank check Ben Johnson. That is what we need. I didn't
yeah,
want Vrabel. I didn't want McCarthy. I didn't want Pete Carroll. I mean, we want Ben Johnson. This guy's in his late 30s. He's had success as a young coach. He's respected by, I'm sure, all of his former players. I mean, we've heard Lions like Amon Ra, et cetera, come out and just speak highly of him. And this is it's just turning a new leaf. We have an offensive minded head coach. This is the guy. I mean, it doesn't matter how much we paid him. We needed someone. And as soon as he comes in, him and Poles, we're spending money in free agency. A Chicago team is spending money in free agency, let alone the Bears. I mean, it's like this is unprecedented. And like you said,
Yeah,
not to get ahead of ourselves, but how can you not be optimistic about the Bears heading into this season?
100%. I mean, what like it's honestly there's like a chance that the move doesn't work out, but the fact that they went for it and they got the number one guy, the guy that's been the most hyped up coaching candidate since Kyle Shanahan, I mean, you can't be mad at it at the end of the day. You know what I mean? They went for it. And how many times could we say that about one of our teams that they went for it? They flat out got the best guy, they got the best option at whatever they're looking for, you know? And
Yeah.
it it feels like they've really turned a corner as an organization in a way. I mean, just paying a coach that amount of money. The contract is not officially out there, but it's pretty it's pretty heavily. I don't know. It's pretty certain that
Yeah.
it's at least like $13 million a year, which is, I mean, unheard of for most franchises, let alone the lowly Bears. So, I
Yeah.
mean, and then like it was the realization when he got hired was unbelievable. And then immediately, I think Schefter had a tweet saying Dennis Allen is probably going to follow him to be the DC, and that's a home run hire in its own right. So it's
Yeah.
like, I mean, the things are changing. I feel pretty good about it. And then we get to free agency. Uh, like I think they were the second team to make a move, and it was Drew Dahlman. And I was like kind of iffy just because I was worried about what the contract was going to be, and I thought that he could get overpaid just because of how limited the market is. But $13 million a year really is not bad. I was like
No.
thinking upwards of like 16 to 18 a year, which
Yeah.
would have been a little steep, but 13 is like perfectly fine with me, especially for what he brings.
Yeah, and I know like one of his concerns, I'm pretty sure, is that he's a little undersized.
Yeah.
But it's like this was a position that we needed, and even if, it's not the best guy, that it's not the best, center free agent we've seen in the last 5 years. It's like we still we know we needed to fill that hole, and we did it, and we didn't overpay the guy. And now with some of these moves, it gives us some flexibility moving into the draft, and we have a top 10 pick. I mean, this is huge.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, you think about it, where the offensive line was last year with just personnel, let alone the horrid, putrid coaching they received.
Oh my God,
Uh,
dude.
they couldn't pick up a blitz protection. It was like week 10, and they're still having free rushers in Caleb's face like immediately after the snap. It's like, what are we doing? Like this is like,
Oh, by the way, we have a rookie quarterback back there who's trying to get his feet wet in the league. It's not like we have a 5 year vet back there. This guy's a rookie just praying before every drop back.
who is also not given any scripted plays to start the game, asked to handle essentially the entire offense, the line of scrimmage, and none of the other rookie quarterbacks who played were given that responsibility. And they were just like, go out there, figure it out.
Oh,
No
and
wonder
Caleb
it's
had to request to watch film or whatever the report was. Like,
yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah.
I mean, what are we doing, guys? And it's
It's
funny just going into last season, people saying, I'm sure myself included, oh, this is the best like rookie quarterback situation. Boy, were we ever wrong.
oh, I yeah, I guilty as charged. I
I mean,
I was
we didn't.
leading that charge.
You're
Oh my,
right. And with Hard Knocks, and we just didn't know what was really happening behind the scenes until the firing started happening, and then everything came out, and it was just like, holy shit, guys, what? This is a
yeah.
professional sports team. What are we doing?
Yeah, I mean the pure incompetence it starts from the coaching and I feel like some of the personnel wasn't even given a chance. Like I know that some of these guys just weren't good flat out, but there it also comes with coaching and like preparation and I just felt like the lack of that just showed so much with just the little mental errors that happen, like let alone
Yeah,
just like not doing your job. I mean, but I think that's like the most underrated part of the signing is that Drew Dahlman said in his opening press conferences, or in his opening press conference, or the questions for reporters, but it was something with he prides himself on picking up blitz protections, and I think that's step number one right there, checked off. I mean,
yeah,
that let alone how much Ben Johnson likes to get the interior lineman up and moving. Drew Dahlman's a pretty athletic guy. I think that suits well. And then there's some other moves that happen to start free agency, but another thing that kind of went under the radar was Jonah Jackson getting
yeah.
the extra year on the extension because he he had like a weird year with the Rams. He was pretty successful in his career up until then, and then he only played 4 games. He played center, he played right guard, he played left guard. He never really could find his way with the Rams. So, and clearly Ben wanting to bring him back into his system bodes well because I'm kind of in the camp. I don't know about you, but I'm in the camp where like if Ben likes someone, I'm just gonna take his word for it at this
Yeah,
point, honestly.
yeah, yeah, and clearly he found success in Detroit when Ben was there. A lot of times we see players, it doesn't matter if they're a rookie or not, if they get traded somewhere, sometimes it's just not a fit for whatever reason that might be. If the coaches don't take a liking to you, if you don't fit whatever scheme they're trying to be a part of. Clearly Ben knows how to use this guy. He's been a Pro Bowler in the past. Yeah, I hope that this is a way for him to kind of revamp his career after a bad season. He's with a familiar coach, and I think that will have a great impact on how he performs. And hopefully that's the case.
100%. And then we haven't even really touched on like probably the easily the best player that we got, and that's Joe Tooney. I mean, he is an unreal player. He had a rough end of the season because he was playing left tackle in a
He was
pinch,
out of
but that is
position. I mean,
yeah,
like
like
people want to rag on him in the Super Bowl. He wasn't even playing his normal position. Like, what do you
against
want the
yeah,
guy to do?
and against a front like that with just guy
I
after
mean,
guy coming in
yeah,
fresh legs every down, it's insane. Like I mean, I don't even know that a lot of really good natural left tackles would have done a good job against them, honestly. I mean,
yeah.
most didn't. Uh, but
I mean,
then,
this guy's a four-time All-Pro. He's been there, done that. Started every game he's played. He's had to play multiple positions, like you said, and it's like, yes, his poor games, he wasn't playing where he naturally plays. I mean, they didn't. It's like
yeah,
whenever
exactly.
he's in his spot that he's supposed to be in, this guy's he's all-worldly player.
Yeah, for sure. And then, like a crazy stat that I saw about him right away that just blew my mind is that he's been in the league, I believe, 8 seasons. I could be wrong about that, but he's played in 6 Super Bowls.
Yeah,
That's unbelievable. I
that's
know,
like
like
That's
I'm
like Bill Russell numbers.
dude is yeah, I mean that he's missed the playoffs one time in his career, and that was the Cam Newton Patriots in 2020.
Well,
That's
I mean,
yeah, I don't think that one was on him, but
yeah, that was a rough season for New
yeah,
England fans.
I think he could have put up with it if he knew it was going to come afterwards.
Yeah, very
That's
true.
oh my God. I mean, I was over the moon. He's a free agent after the season, but
Yeah,
I have a strong suspicion he sticks around. I mean, I don't really
especially
see.
yeah, if the season goes well, I don't see a world where he leaves.
Yeah, yeah, for sure. And I want him playing left guard. That's his best spot, so I prefer to stick him there. And Jonah Jackson's played left guard probably the most as well, I think, but I would put him at right and be fine with it personally.
Yeah, and
Um,
we still have Darnell Wright. I mean, he could be poised
yeah,
for a big year coming in,
yeah,
and he
that's
he was not the problem last year. It's
no,
like the interior line was just. I mean,
yeah,
yeah, we
no,
yeah
that's 100%. I think tackles have a usually their breakout season, if they are going to break out, will come year 3, and that's what he's entering. So
yeah
I feel pretty good about where he's at and where he will go, especially
yeah
as the season or as he gets real coaching. Chris
Yeah.
Morgan didn't really seem like he was cutting it at O-line coach for quite a while. But either way, and with Drew Dahlman, he isn't a perfect player by any means, but with having the talent that he's going to have around him on the offensive line, his job just becomes that much easier.
Oh,
Along
100%.
along with the experience that the guys provide as well. I mean, it's not going to just all be on him to have to recognize those kinds of blitz protections and stuff like that. So, and
Yeah.
then and then addressing the defensive line, going out and getting Odingbo. I struggle at saying
Yeah, I
the
didn't I was hoping you'd say it first.
yeah, I think it's Dio Odingbo. I think the Y you don't really say. I think that's what I've been hearing the most,
Yeah.
but I'm not confident whatsoever in saying that. But either way, people were kind of iffy on the price tag, but then like when the details of it, like the guaranteed money and like what he's getting per year came out, it kind of made more sense. I think it's around like it's not 16, which is what everyone thought at first.
Mm.
Um, and like it seems like they could get out of it for like 6 to 8 million for the second year if he does not perform. But I think I think he's got some upside. Dennis Allen likes extremely large defensive ends, like Cameron
Yeah.
Jordan size.
Yeah.
Yeah, he likes like 6'5", 280 guys. Like just
Yeah. Just big boys.
yeah, like he likes guys who could set the edge in the run game more so
Yeah.
than pass rush, I'd say. But I mean, who knows? He's got some untapped potential. He's a second
Yeah.
round pick, and he's kind of
He's
never been a full time starter. So
no, and he's young. And like we were saying earlier, sometimes all a guy needs is a change of scenery, new coaches, new city, new scheme, whatever. And
yeah,
you know,
it,
and
I
he's
was
coming into a team that's I mean very new in a lot of departments. So
yeah for sure. And Dennis Allen is not he wasn't a great head coach by any means, but he is very proven as a defensive coordinator, and I have
absolutely.
faith in his evaluation of talent. And I think he if someone's going to get the most out of him, I have a good feeling that it will be him. And I think I was seeing something about one of the Colts beat reporters saying that uh he kind of was a victim of getting to the quarterback, but the defensive backs and the secondary as a whole were just so bad that like the pass rushers really didn't have a chance a lot of the time, which does make sense because even we had a like a 300-yard passing game against them, so it kind of I believe it.
Yeah. Yeah, we've seen it firsthand with our lowly Bears in 2024. But yeah, I
Yeah,
mean that makes sense. And when you struggle on in the secondary front, obviously, I mean, coming from Indy, I mean he is coming into a better situation, at least, from a
yeah,
secondary standpoint. And then we go out and we sign a defensive tackle, Grady Jarrett. Um, it's solid player. It's not like, we went out and we made some defensive moves like how we did on the offensive side, but it's like we're still addressing the biggest holes on the team, which is a good thing.
yeah. Like with Dio, you kind of went with like the untapped potential kind of guy, and then Grady Jarrett, I think at the very least brings a high floor with experience and
Yes.
leadership, which is I think the defense could be lacking at times. I just feel like they didn't really have much of a vocal leader. You could say that it's Jalen Johnson or TJ Edwards a little bit,
Or
but
Brisker on Twitter.
yeah, 100%. I feel like you need a guy like Brisker sometimes. Just
No, oh, absolutely. I love it. I love it.
yeah, because there's a lot of quiet guys on that defense.
Yeah.
But he is not one of them, which I like. I like,
No, and in
especially.
his press conference, I mean, he was amped up to be here. I mean, that was
Oh
awesome to
yeah,
see.
100%. Yeah, he's a guy that I think is going to be fun. He was coming off an ACL tear last year, so he wasn't necessarily putting up crazy numbers, but I think he's an impactful player no matter what, just because of the attention that he draws, especially up the middle.
Yeah.
And he's going to have some nice players next to him, and Dexter and Billings and obviously Sweat. So it's gonna be it's gonna be fun. I think he's gonna have more of an impact than people think, and I don't think they really broke the bank for him either. I think it's 15 million a year. It's like 3 for 45 or something. So
Which is fine.
not bad.
I mean, yeah,
Yeah,
nothing crazy. And yeah, we made those moves on defense, and who's to say we could still address that in the NFL draft coming up? I mean,
Yeah,
there's it's
100%.
we don't know what we're gonna do with the 10th pick overall. There's a lot of flexibility there. I've seen mocks where we still take an offensive line, which we could still take a higher end offensive line guy in the draft. That's still a
Yeah.
possibility. So I guess wherever Ben and Poles and whoever feels we really need a guy to fill that hole, they're gonna go there. But I'm just happy that we jumped on free agency like we did, which is unheard of for the Bears.
Yeah.
And yeah, I mean it's just a great start. It's very refreshing to see, honestly.
Yeah. As far as the draft goes, I mean, you could really go anywhere. I know it sounds insane to say because it didn't translate the wins last year, but I was always a firm believer that the roster is really not in a bad place, and they were set up to do something like this in this offseason. So
Yeah,
I think they're a team without I like it's weird to say, but I don't feel like they don't have that many holes. Like they
no,
really
they
have a
don't.
lot of they really have a like at least at every position they have a player that you could convince me is a starter. Like
Yeah,
and
and it's like even talking about holes, like we went out and we got Zacchaeus. I
yeah.
think that's a good third option. It's not a
Yeah.
bad guy, and with I mean Keenan wasn't I don't know what we really expected him to be, but I mean
Hmm.
he's
Yeah.
effectively been replaced. It could be a better product at the third wide receiver spot that we're seeing next year.
Yeah. I I kind of had a feeling he wouldn't be back just because I think Ben kind of prefers a little bit more speed
Mhm.
at wide receiver, and Keenan, that's like his biggest weakness, I'd say, was
Yeah,
probably quickness with us last year. And um, I think field stretchers, like just kind of guys that could run the nine route, just straight up verts, and uh, just clear out the defense. I mean, Zacchaeus and Devin Duvernay are just straight field stretchers who are going to clear out a lot of what the defense is trying to do against Rome and DJ. And I mean, if they say they do bring single coverage one snap, those could easily be touchdowns. So
right.
that's kind of the perfect archetype of wide receiver that they needed. And Zacchaeus, I mean, he really had a solid year for the
He did.
Commanders last year. Like I didn't like I wasn't like intently watching every single Commanders game, but I felt like watching Red Zone and stuff a lot. Like I feel like he made a lot of big plays and big moments
Yeah,
when they needed it because they really lacked the
absolutely.
second option last year. And
Hmm.
Zacchaeus kind of felt like that guy for them a lot of the time.
He did, and did he have a touchdown against the Bears? I feel like he might have. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I just remember he made some pretty sick contested catches. Even he's a speed guy, but it's like he had a
Yeah,
career high in catches last year. I mean, he's giving you 11 yards per catch. It's like you know what you're getting with him. I think he's a
yeah, and
solid third option, and even Duvernay he gives us more flexibility in that
yeah.
aspect. Who we
He's
just signed today.
Yeah, he's essentially gonna play the role that DeAndre Carter played for us last year and probably do it better. I mean, he's gonna be a
Yeah,
returner as well, and he's pretty electric in that. And
right.
Zacchaeus he's willing to block his ass off, which is I think a big important thing for Ben
Especially
Johnson
under Ben's
specifically.
leadership. Yeah,
Yeah,
absolutely.
because I know that the flashy offense is kind of what people gravitate towards with all the trick plays and stuff, but he likes to run the ball more than anything, essentially. I mean, the Lions were gashing people last year in the run game. It was
Oh my
it was
gosh.
fun to watch. It wasn't fun when they played the Bears, but every single game it felt like Monty was getting 8 yards every carry, and then Gibbs was just breaking off a 30-yarder. It
Yeah,
was
yeah.
it's unbelievable. I mean, I'm so excited for that, honestly. And that's kind of where I wanted to take the draft conversation because I don't know that I've asked you officially about this. Where are you with Genty at 10 if he's there, of
Um,
course?
I don't. I think he's great. I think he's going to be a great running back. But I don't think. I think if we let's just put it this way: if we were to have Caleb Johnson, like let's say we get him somehow, if he fell to us, I really don't. think the team is all that different than if we get Genty. That's where I'm at. I do think Genty is a Pro Bowl level running back. He could be one of the best in the league, but I'm not going to be super upset if we don't take him at 10. That's just where I'm at first.
Yeah, I mean, it's honestly hard for me to disagree with that because that's the same philosophy that I operate under basically all the time. And the only thing that gives me second thoughts is that the draft itself and the players in it this year, it's like it lacks like it doesn't necessarily it's not necessarily bad, I would say, but it lacks like blue chip talent. Like I'd say
Yeah.
there's probably three, and then some people would say four with Cam Ward, depending on how you feel about him. I'm not
Yeah.
doing that.
Yeah.
Um,
I'm not
but
either, brother.
the three players I'd call like blue chip that I feel pretty good about, Jainty, Travis Hunter,
Yep.
and Abdul Carter. That's
Yep.
that's
Yep.
really where the list ends. Everyone else, they're good players there, don't get me wrong, but like I can see why like that guy doesn't work out, I'll say, you know?
I mean, yeah,
And
as we know, the quarterbacks are, this is just a really weak year for
yeah,
quarterbacks.
and that kind of sucks for where we are because say there were two, three quarterbacks, that would push up guys that could
Yeah.
be like that pushes up value for the Bears at 10, which is unfortunate, but I mean, you never know.
I hope someone just takes a shot in the dark at Jackson Dart after his combine or something. That would make me happy if he's taking top 10, but I don't
Yeah,
think that's, if I were
I'm
a GM, I'm
secretly
not taking him up there.
I'm secretly hoping for a little Shador reach. Not that
Yeah.
I agree with it, but I'm just selfishly hoping for that.
Yeah.
Because I'm like kind of hearing that Cam Ward is kind of like the most clear cut guy at the moment,
Yeah.
according to a lot of people. I'm not really high on any of them personally. I think
No.
Cam Ward and Shador could be solid at best, which is like that's hard for me to want to take in the top three of a draft if you
Yeah.
like at his ceiling he's like the 12th best quarterback. Like that doesn't really excite me. I'd rather kick the can down the road and just stick it out, you know?
They give me like a Justin Fields vibe. Like he was taken mid
Yeah.
first round. Like that's like I'd want a guy like that in mid to late first round if I'm a GM. I don't want a top
Yeah.
three pick to be like, hey, this guy could be pretty good. It's like, well,
Yeah.
we have a top three pick in the draft, you know?
Yeah, that's like where I want to take a blue chip player if I can at that spot. I don't want to force myself to take a quarterback. I feel like that's how GMs get fired is like trying to force
Yeah.
something that isn't there.
They're
But
like, oh, he's the best quarterback available. It's like, but yes,
yeah,
but this is one of the weakest quarterback classes in recent memory.
yeah,
So
it's like I mean JJ McCarthy or Bo Nix might have been the best quarterback this year, but like
yeah.
like it doesn't matter that they're the best this year. It's like are they good in general? You know,
Right,
it's like
right.
yeah, but I don't know. People get desperate. I understand, but yeah, JT, I that's the only reason. That's kind of what I was getting to. I completely forgot where I was going with that, but I was getting at where I can see an argument for taking a player that you just know is going to be good, but at the same time, I would like a tackle, honestly, because
Yeah,
say Braxton has a down year, you can just plug and play the guy. I mean,
absolutely.
it's pretty simple. And then at the same time, I wouldn't mind throwing another body at defensive line if someone that you like is there, you know.
Yeah,
There's some decent names. I don't love a lot of them, but like there's some upside to it. So I can see it. Like the most polarizing player I've seen is Shamar Stewart. Some people love him, some people hate him, but he had 1.5 sacks like 3 years in a row at Texas A&M, but his combine was like absolute freak shit. So it's like I see an argument both ways, but
yeah,
it's a lot of players like that where you're like this could very well go well, but I can also see it just being an awful pick. So that's
yeah.
kind of where I am with it. And there's so many running backs that I love in this draft though.
I know. So it's like even if we miss out on Gentry, we could still get a high guy, you know. You have your
Yeah,
Scadaboos, your Caleb Johnsons, your
Caleb's
Genties.
yeah.
I
Caleb
I
Johnson's a monster. I
uh, he's
I
so
I
good.
love him. And Judkins, I also like a lot.
Yep,
As a
he's
Michigan
very
fan, I hate to
tricky.
say that, but
No, yeah, he's a
yeah,
stud. He's a stud.
I mean,
Dude, I
even
wish
Travion,
the Penn State dudes came out this
yeah,
week.
Singleton,
Allen and Singleton, dude. Both of
yeah,
them are studs.
yeah,
They're gonna be high up on the board next year. But yeah, there was just across college football, there's so many stud running backs.
100%. Yeah, no, that's kind of where I am with it. I mean, there's still a decent amount of time to the draft. I wish it was coming up, but it's unfortunately not. But um,
Yeah.
do you have any sleeper teams for the tournament? I know it starts tomorrow, but
So here's I'll give you because it looks like we're running out of time a little bit
yeah.
on the which kind of blows, but the two teams that I really like are St. John's and Florida. I'm
Okay.
really high on those teams. Patino, I mean, you see his second year stats. I'm kind of feeding into that a little bit. I know they play in a weaker, like not a weaker conference, but I just really like them. And Florida, every time I've watched them this year, I mean, they're either in every game, they dominate teams, or they just find a way to win. If their bigs aren't
I
playing well, their guards are playing well, vice versa. It's crazy.
I I completely agree with you, honestly.
Are you serious?
Yes. I know we're in a pool together, but I picked Florida to win.
Okay. I'm
Uh,
in the pool that we're in, I'm taking St. John's, and
okay,
in my
fair.
work one, I'm going to take Florida.
Okay, yeah,
So
I did Florida in that one. I did Houston in another one.
nice.
But I couldn't help but have Florida in the final in that one. Like I
Yeah,
was
dude,
trying so hard to switch it up, but I just
they're
couldn't see
actually
them
so
losing.
good.
Yeah,
I watched the game on Sunday and I was just like, these guys are just unreal. And they've
yeah,
blown out some really good teams this year. Like, oh my
yeah.
goodness, dude.
Usually, like most teams will have like, okay, that position's kind of weak, or they don't have that much depth at that position. Like Florida has guys at every single like guard, forward, and bigs. Like it's crazy. And
No, dude, they're sick.
Duke, I can also see,
I
honestly.
could listen, I could see Duke and Auburn is what like was in the back of my head, but I'm like, I don't know if this makes sense, but I'm like, I feel like they're too good to win the championship.
No,
Like
yeah, yeah, yeah.
it makes too much sense. Here's my
Yeah,
thing. I feel like a team with the number one overall pick almost never wins or makes it far in the tournament. And then Auburn, it's like, oh, they've just been the best team like all year long, yada yada
yeah.
yada.
They're
But
stumbling a little bit.
I've seen them lose a couple big games lately, and it's like, yeah, all their guards are 24, like all their players are just like on
Yeah,
LinkedIn. They have the experience, but it almost makes too much sense for them to make it super far or win the title. But as far as sleeper teams go, um, I really like Maryland. I've seen them play
okay.
time and time again. They dominated Illinois twice. The first time we didn't have Ivisic, so it was a little, they were down, but Maryland, they dominated Illinois. They lost at the last second to Michigan. I'm sure you were happy at that inbound in the last play of the game. But
Yeah,
I mean, Maryland was they kind of like pissed that game away in a sense. Like,
yeah,
they were looking good. They were up. But dude, Derek Queen, obviously Cooper Flag's teammate in high school, that kid's a stud.
yeah,
They're a 4 seed, so it's not a super sleeper pick. And then Iowa State too. I have a little
yeah.
bit of bias just because my brother goes there, and they're a 3 seed, but I've seen them play time and time again. They
No,
have the experience. They have guys that have been in the tournament. They're a solid team.
yeah. People are a little down on them because of the injuries they've had, but I
Yeah,
picked them to do pretty well. One thing though, I my sleeper team that I'm kind of liking, New Mexico, which I
really.
yeah, one pool I did have them losing to Iowa State, but then the other one I had them winning because
That's fair.
they got Patino's son as the coach also,
Oh,
who's supposed to be a decently hot name this
I
cycle.
did not
So
know that.
yeah, so that's kind of like
Shout out
that's
Patino's
that's a
son.
good vibes pick, and they're a pretty fun team apparently. I haven't watched a lot of New Mexico, I'm gonna admit, but
No, I haven't
Colorado
either.
State is a hot pick. People are also saying that about UC San Diego.
Yep,
Um,
yep, I've seen that too. I'm trying
yeah,
to look
I
through. I mean, Michigan State's another team that I think could make it fairly far.
Yeah,
UConn, I mean, you never know what they're going to do in the tournament. It's like
yeah.
we've seen them in the past be like an 8 seed and win the whole thing. And obviously, the last 2 years, it's like Dan
Mhm.
Hurley has just pissed me off so much this year. I need him to get the hell out of here.
Yeah,
Um,
I faded them because of that, honestly. I had them
he's
winning and then
just
losing to Florida.
I believe I have the same, at least in the one bracket I filled out. I could even see Arizona making a run. I mean, they've won some big games down the
Yeah,
stretch. They're coming off of a championship here, a tournament championship.
yeah,
BYU's another solid team. They're a
yeah.
6 seed, but they're on
If they're
fire,
shooting the
dude.
ball well, I could see them. I could see
I
them
mean, they
doing
put up
well.
90. Iowa State put up 92 points on them, and BYU still won the game. I was like, what the hell
Yeah,
is going on? But
yeah, 100%.
I know there's a lot of McNeese hype because of their student manager.
Yeah,
Um,
that's one of those teams I faded. I faded like the popular picks. I pick and choose because like I
yeah.
know that's going to be one of the popular ones, and I can't fall into the hype too much, you
No,
know.
I do have them beating Clemson, but then I have them
Okay,
losing in the next round. Um,
fair.
Outside of that, though, I mean, Tennessee's another good team. Oh yeah, but I guess my best sleeper pick would be Maryland, even though they're a 4 seed. I've seen them play time and time again just from watching Big Ten basketball, and they're a very very solid team. Shout out
Yeah.
Jordan Reese, I guess.
uh, yeah, I my official sleeper team. I I don't know. I feel like since everyone was hating on North Carolina making it, I think
Dude,
they're gonna win a
dude,
couple, dude.
dude. I swear to God, when you just said that, I'm like, North Carolina, they came
RJ
up when I
Davis,
was,
dude.
yeah,
He's hot right now.
yeah.
I feel it. I think that's just gonna
If
be the
any
thing.
team has a chip on their shoulder right now, dude, I think in our bracket, it's just funny. I'm giving away these picks. No, I have them losing to Iowa State, but I think in my other bracket, I'm gonna have them going pretty far. Like
Yeah, yeah,
they're on a mission. They feel slighted. Obviously, the committee. It seems like they made the right pick. I mean,
yeah,
but they're a team that's like, all right, like you guys thought we couldn't win anything. Well, we'll make it to the Elite Eight. Like,
yeah, 100%.
you know. But yeah, this should be a fun couple weeks here, and the madness has already officially started. But tomorrow and Friday are going to be big days for sure.
Hell yeah.
But this has been episode 3 of the Glacier Guys podcast. As always, thank you guys for watching. We'll have this video up very soon, YouTube, SoundCloud, uh, wherever else we put it up. But we appreciate you guys watching, and peace.
Peace.